Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first portfolio meeting of the 2020-2021 school year. In this video, we're going to specifically look at the 10th grade portfolio requirements. As you can see, portfolio meetings are going to look a little bit different as we're going to be utilizing sort of a screencast video mode this year. And this is because we have our students at Palisades in class with us in person, but also we have Palisades students at home in the distance learning mode. For those students in class right now in the in-person learning mode, there's no need for your Chromebooks or electronic devices. They're not going to be needed for the first half of the meeting, though I will prompt you as to when you can take them out. So the first thing we're going to look at today is the purpose of the portfolio. The purpose of the portfolio is for students to demonstrate the specific skills and interests that you've acquired throughout your high school experience here at Palisades. It also encourages students to have ownership and control over your learning, as a great deal of what we do in the portfolio requires students to reflect upon not only their academic career, but that future career planning. A lot of what we do with Palisades portfolio is also driven by the Pennsylvania Standards for Career Education and Work. And Pennsylvania wants to see all of its students in all of its public schools are leaving high school not only well educated, but also well skilled for the workforce they'll be entering. Again, the workforce is rapidly changing due to innovation and technology. And each year, you're going to be assigned specific portfolio tasks that will meet one or more of the following standards. Career awareness and preparation. A great example of this is your 9th grade career research paper. Also, career acquisition, getting the job, things like interview skills and your resume and applications. Another one is career retention, not only getting the job, but keeping the job, and also advancement, getting that promotion. And lastly, entrepreneurship. A lot of your business classes will hit on this standard, but we will also be completing some tasks within the portfolio as well that will include entrepreneurship. Portfolio is a graded requirement as well. It will count for 0.25 credits each year, and this grade for portfolio will be reflected in your class rank. Portfolio grades are given at the end of each semester, not quarterly like many of your classes. And completing the portfolio is a graduation requirement. Your senior year, you will participate in a senior portfolio exit interview in which you're going to have to include a number of the pieces that you're putting in starting in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. Additionally, passing the portfolio is needed for participation in extracurricular clubs and activities. Like last year, we will be collecting portfolio requirements in electronic format through the Naviance program. Again, like last year, there will be monthly meetings at the end of period 2. And you will have to complete some of this work for portfolio on your own time, but you can always ask for help during your portfolio meetings and also be on the meetings from your portfolio mentor. Now for the students sitting in class in person, you can take out your Chromebook or your device, and we're going to log into Naviance. For students at home in the distance learning mode, it may be helpful if you open up a new link on your device. So let's work on getting into our portfolio. The first thing we're going to do is go to Naviance. So you need to go into your browser, go to palisd.org, and once you're at the school district website, you're going to look for the tab that says For Parents and Students. Once you click on For Parents and Students, you'll see on the left-hand side, there's a column. You want to find Clever. Once you click on Clever, a screen will pop up and you need to log in with Google. Once you are in Clever, a screen will appear and you want to select the Naviance app from your options given. Once you have successfully entered into Naviance, you should see a screen like this. It will say, "Welcome, Ima." Instead of "I'm a student," it will have your name. And then to look at where your portfolio tasks are, looking at the top right-hand side, you want to click on the tab that says My Planner. Once you do that, a scroll down menu will appear, and there under My Planner, you want to click on Task. Your task screen should look like this. On one side, on the left-hand side, will be all the tasks that you will need to work on for your portfolio requirements this year. On the right-hand column, that will include tasks for future grades or past grades, possibly that you have not completed. To access a task, okay, click on the task and you will see a description of the task. And then on the right-hand side is where you would find the submissions. In your Naviance account, you should see for 10th grade portfolio requirements the 9 tasks as listed below. Let's take a minute or two for students to review their Naviance account and that they have present the 9 tasks as listed on the screen. If you do not see 9 tasks listed there as listed on your screen, please raise your hand, okay? Or if you cannot log into Naviance, raise your hand and your portfolio mentor will assist you. If you are at home in a distance learning mode and you do not have the 9 tasks listed or are having problems logging into Naviance, please email your portfolio mentor. Portfolio mentors, let's pause the video right here and resume when ready. The next step in looking at portfolio is organizing your portfolios and doing so with portfolio folders in Google. So if you haven't done so already last year, you will need to create a folder in your Google Drive to organize your portfolio documents. To do this, go to your Google Drive and you want to click on New. From there, in the drop-down menu, you want to choose Folder and you want to name the folder Portfolio. You will be required to save some files for your portfolio requirements. If you're using Google Docs, okay, and PDF files, you want to make sure you clearly name them in your Google folder. Some ways to do this is the task title. So for in this case, you have your quality piece number 1, and you would give it a name, Geometry Project. You also want to include your last name as well. So under the third bullet, you can see an example that we would use to name a Google Doc or a PDF file would be Quality Piece 1, Geometry Project Smith. You want to make sure you do not include copy of in the name. Additionally, it's important to know that titles that are too long will have a problem properly submitting to Naviance. So again, please follow these instructions in carefully naming your items to your Google folder. Again, we need as short as possible names so it's not a problem when submitting to Naviance. Next, let's take a look at quality pieces that are required for this year. Just like last year in 9th grade, 10th grade students this year are required to put in 2 quality graded pieces to their portfolio. 2 pieces of student work should show your strengths as a learner. What is something that you do very well, you continue to really grow in and prosper in? But also, it could be pieces that you may have struggled with. It could be an assignment or a subject that sometimes you have difficulty in, but this quality piece you're putting in shows that you have persevered, you have put effort in over time, and you're succeeding in that course or in that subject area. It could also be quality work that shows your growth or strength as a learner. This could be possibly in solving math problems or writing essays. Maybe you struggled in that before and you're experiencing now great growth and you want to show that within your portfolio as a quality piece. The key to keep in mind with your graded portfolio quality pieces is that they must be submitted with a graded rubric or teacher feedback with the work. So here is a pretty comprehensive list of appropriate pieces that students can use for their quality pieces. Again, things like the traditional lab reports, research papers, essays. But don't forget to also sort of think outside of the box and include videos, maybe of presentations you have completed in a course. Or if you're an art student, visuals, photographs of pieces of art that you've produced. Also for our VOTE technical students, please also include videos or photographs of projects that you have completed. So again, take a second, review this list, and you'll have some time coming up in a few slides to sort of think and brainstorm as a group of some pieces that you've already completed thus far in your 10th grade year. So both of the pieces that you put in for your quality pieces must demonstrate one of the following work skills. And really all pieces, if it's something that you have spent time, if you put time and energy in, it should really hit more than one of the following skills. That you have a positive attitude. That kind of goes along with commitment. That it might have been something that you've struggled in, but you persevered and stuck with it to complete that quality final piece. It could also show communication among group members if you're working with a group in a group project setting, or communication between you and your teacher. It also could show dependability, that your group was depending on you or your teacher was depending on you to complete the quality piece. Don't also forget too that it could include health and safety standards. This might be more appropriate for students maybe in a shop or a VOTech school academy. That again, when working, you have to keep in mind of those occupational health and safety standards. It could also show initiative as a group or personal initiative, that you went beyond what the teacher was expecting and did something really great within your quality piece. Your quality piece could also show time management skills, team building, and also technical literacy if you're using technology to produce that final product. So you want for your quality pieces to have really graded work that will also include, as I mentioned, that teacher feedback and rubric. Quality pieces will not be counted if they do not also come along with that feedback and rubric. Additionally, too, quality pieces are not tests and quizzes and homework assignments. We want to see quality pieces are sort of long stemmed assignments that you've spent some time on, and not just a quick assessment. Unless you did a project for a test, that would be the only exception. Again, a project that your teacher had you do instead of a traditional end of the unit test or assessment. And one of the quality pieces must be submitted by the end of the first semester. So right now as a group, really think about what quality pieces you have completed so far in your classes. If the mentor would sort of lead a quick discussion with the class on what quality pieces, you can pause the video right here and resume it when you're ready to continue. The next thing to take a look at is where we're going to find quality pieces within our Naviance account. So to find quality pieces within your Naviance account, again, looking at your tasks on the left-hand side, you'll see them labeled Quality Piece 1, Quality Piece 2. Again, you can click on that for the description, and a place where you're going to submit that quality piece assignment. Also, there is a very handy document linked here, which I'll pull up in just a second, that will give you step-by-step directions on how to submit a graded piece of work to Naviance. If we click on the document, it goes through a variety of different options that you have. For instance, if it was a project or a quality piece you submitted through Turnitin.com within Canvas, you would follow the instructions as it appears here. If your project was graded using comments within Canvas, again, there's really handy and clear instructions for you to go about putting that into Naviance step by step here. If your project was graded using a rubric within Canvas, you would follow the items here. And finally, if this was a hard copy that was graded by hand and your teacher gave that piece back to you, there's directions here on how to scan that into a copier. Next thing we're going to take a look at too are some changes that had to take place this year regarding your volunteer and service hours. Previously, the volunteer service hours and reflection was a requirement for portfolio. This year, those hours will not be required for the 2021 school year due to COVID-19. Again, a lot of organizations are sort of limiting that person-to-person contact and making it difficult to seek those volunteer hours. Again, you are highly encouraged to do some volunteer hours, maybe virtually. Some organizations are moving to that mode of volunteering. If you are still volunteering in a specific mode, you can still go to the website linked here and you can register and log those hours because they could be used for previous year's requirements. But again, the volunteer service hours are not going to be required for this school year due to COVID-19. We're hoping once the pandemic moves into a different climate, that this is something potentially we can pick up starting next year. So the next steps now, our next portfolio meeting is going to be Thursday, November 5th, 2020, it should say, and we will complete the entrepreneur traits and update your resume, job application, and your career research paper at that November meeting. Remember to keep graded pieces of work with rubrics and teacher feedback for your quality piece selections. And you also within this video, within this slideshow, have that handy dandy guide of how to go about putting that into your Google folder and submitting it to Naviance. Again, please review the portfolio requirements and resources. You can find that at the portfolio information site. And move or copy documents into your portfolio folder that you would like to use as a quality piece. With any time that remains today during this portfolio session, please update and proofread your resume. Make sure you are able to log in and access your Naviance account, okay? You're gonna go to About Me, choose My Stuff, and then go to Resume. You want to click the plus sign to add any new categories or items for your portfolio.